Hello everybody, I'll start again. I'm doing that thing where I like to start in mute and no one can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let me know, as always, if you can see me, if you can hear me. But I'll assume you can. And happy Friday everyone. I hope you're having I hope you're having a better week than me, but my week's not been that bad. I'll answer that comment in a minute, Courtney. But ask your husband. I've already told him. So, for those of you who might be new here, while we wait for the room to fill up. The room to fill up? We're not in a room. We're all online. While we wait for some people to filter in, I'd like to make an apology, first of all, for no video for like nearly 2 weeks now. It's just ridiculously busy. Ridiculously bad luck. I've not been very well this week. I've got like 3, maybe even 4 videos in the works. By God, so many things going on. So my house is being rewired. I'm having new central heating put in. I'm ridiculously busy at work. Fish room's in a state of disarray. Everything's flying here, there and everywhere. Easter holidays, so I've had the kids off with me all week. Oh, fun times. So I'm afraid videos is what gets the chop when I run out of time. So I'm hoping we'll get one out tomorrow. I was hoping I'd get one today at least, and we could have a bit of a premiere or something like that. But no, didn't quite get there. Pardon me. So we'll try and get one out soon. So please give me a little bit of leeway. That's all I wanted to say. That's my apology. I haven't done anything bad or anything. Yeah, just struggling to keep up with things. Pardon me. But I've still been doing some fishy stuff. I've still got fishy stuff on the go. So we'll have a little bit of a chat about any of that. But as always, this is the Friday night live stream. We're here to talk about all things aquatic and anything else. So if you have any questions, any topics, any discussions you want to start, kick off, get them down there in the comments. Our wonderful mod team will try and keep me on track, hopefully. And yeah, as always, I don't have a plan. We're just going to have a bit of a chat about whatever crosses my mind. I have a couple of topics that I wanted to catch up on. We'll probably talk about the videos that I've started making. Mega Tank, as always, that's going to be a topic. But let's say hello to a few people. So we have currently got 43 people turning in for this nonsense. 44 people tuning in for this nonsense. Thank you very much, all you nonsense lovers. Only 15 of you saying you're giving me a old thumbs up. So, let's see if we can bump that number up. That's the entrance requirement, is you give me a like or a dislike. Or have we even still got dislike buttons? I don't know. Click a thing. The admin, as always, please click subscribe. Please like, share, comment. If there's a clicky thing, click it. That's all we want to know. That's all we want to see. Already lost the power of speech. Tonight's beverage. Ow. Hurt my elbow. Tonight's beverage, we're back on Heineken. Please drink responsibly out there, people. So, who have we got first in my list anyway, at least? Rocky's Rocky. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. NJW. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Doncaster. That's the furthest away so far, but I'm sure that'll be easily beaten. Jennifer, she's here. Danny Boy's here. Scott. Oh, Danny Boy, you've reminded me I've still not sent out my goodie bags. So that's another apology. If you've won a prize in the last couple of weeks, I'm sorry. I'll get to it. I promise I will get to it. When I get to it, that's the tricky part of it. If you don't mind, if you have won a prize recently and I haven't sent you anything, it would save me a lot of searching if you just emailed me again to remind me. We'll work on the honour system here, so I don't want everyone emailing me, I won a Ferrari, you haven't sent it out yet. But I will get to it, even if you don't email me. I need an hour free where I don't have any other jobs to do. Scott's in, Callum's here, Rob's Aquarium Room. Good evening, everybody. Good evening yourself. Freshwater Ichthyology. Hello. Paul's here. Hello, Paul. Courtney. There we go. Sharpie's here. And as Jennifer says, don't forget to hit the like button while you're waiting. Or even while you're here. Ahoy, fellow adventurers. That's what we like to see. Skins Arno, how are you? So, Courtney, what's with the poop thumbnail? It's making me gip even thinking about it, but we'll come back to that. Remind me in a bit. I should have actually mentioned this last week. I don't know why I didn't mention it. I think I might have been still suffering from the trauma of the whole event. Let me say hello to everyone, because it's going to sour my mood if I have to bring that up again. Christine, Kaylee, Dawn, Lanks, Fishkeeper, thank you all for joining us. Leanne's here, Liam's here, Kaylee's here, Noodle Sandwich, my god, making a rare appearance on time and everything. I'm like it. Colin, nice to see you. James Wilkinson, my subtitles are already being racist. So if you are new here, there's a fun game you can play by switching on the YouTube subtitles and see how wrong they get what I'm saying. YouTube is racist against Scottish people. James Gordon, ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. What's up, fish? Oh, that was a disconnecting noise if I've ever heard one. And there was a reconnecting. Something's broke. Yep. It was the GoPro that broke. I was about to tell you all how excited I was that the GoPro had started working again. But no, it's died a death. I'll try and get that back working. I don't know why I persevere with this bloody thing. The GoPro is great for GoProing. It's not great for webcamming. USB device not recognized. Shut up, GoPro. Right, forget it. GoPro, you're dead to me as a webcam. So we had ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. Hello there. Miniskins 18. Michelle saying good evening to everyone. Right, I'm going to probably miss a few people, so we'll scroll down to the bottom and then I'll start my poopy news. Andy, nice to see you. We've already got we've got a super chat. Oh my balls! Thank you, Noodle Sandwich, for your 99p super chat. That does make me smile. I think this might be the favourite thing I've ever done on this channel. Is set that up as the super chat ringtone or notification sound. I get money and I get to hear that, which makes me smile. It brightens my day. Asking for a friend. Does anybody okay Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch? I don't have a Nintendo Switch. But thank you, Noodle Sandwich, for your super chat. Right, so the reason for the poopy emoji in the thumbnail is I like to make my thumbnails to remind me what I'm going to talk about in the stream, if ever that makes sense. Because quite often I'll be like, did I talk about this then? And I look back, and so that's why you'll see I might have snakeheads in the thumbnail, or discus, or Congo tetras, or something like that. Because I'll go, oh, that's the one. So it isn't quite as random as I make it look normally. So the poopy emoji is right. How to start this story? Let's just say I'm glad it's not smell-o-vision. Long-time viewers, I don't know what I'm trying to say. People who have watched the channel for a while, so I think there's like 8 people who watch all my videos, so thank you very much to you people. But you guys will remember me talking about my water change my water change ideas. So idea number 1 was I was going to empty all my tanks into a central tank, which is the water butt that I've got in the fish room. So all the tanks would overflow into the water butt, and then a sump pump in the water butt would pump all that water away, out. So that's currently what I do. At the moment, it's connected with a series of higgledy-piggledy pipes, which I have to then couple together, put them out the garage, and then I do my water changes. So it's not automatic. I have to do the water changes so it doesn't just flood the garage every time it kicks off. So I'll go and connect all the pipes, get the pipework out the garage, down the driveway, and then start water changing, fill up the thing, the sump pump kicks in, spits water out. So that's fine. It's not automatic, because we all know my old grey matter isn't what it used to be, so I'm quite forgetful these days, so that's how I make some mistakes. So I wanted to do a drip system like I did in my old fish room, where I didn't have to worry about that. So idea number 1 was keep everything the same, plumb all the tanks with overflows, drip into them, they all fall in, and it pumps away to a drain somewhere. And the easiest way that I could get to a drain somewhere was, there's a soil pipe that comes from the downstairs bathroom. So garage is the fish room, which is underneath the house. Above that is my son's bedroom and our bedroom, and there's a downstairs loo there. So that comes into a soil pipe which runs along the roof, right in the corner, above all the racks, out into the void under the house, next to the garage, and into the sewer, and away it goes. And there's a sink that's plumbed into that. There's a couple other bits and bobs that plumb into it down the line. So I thought, fine, I'll pump it into that. So I'll make there are already little access ports and pipes ready to go. But I've seen it leak, and you never want a leaky soil pipe. I thought, I'm not too sure about that. And then when I was under the house scoping it out for doing some of the insulating work, I was looking at the soil pipe, and obviously they're meant to go on a gradual incline all the way to the sewer, so as that, as the famous saying goes, shit rolls downhill. And it looked very flat, and it even looked as if it might go up at some point. And then I thought, that doesn't seem right either. And then as we were playing around with a blocked sink, I was kind of trying to move it a little bit, and it was moving way too freely. And I thought, right, scratch that plan. There's something clearly wrong here. I had a proper plumber coming in, a proper plumber as if I'm any kind of plumber. I had a proper plumber coming in who was doing all my central heating and ripping all that out and replacing it with new, and doing some other stuff. So I said, I'll get him to have a look at it then. And I either put my mind at ease and let me use it, or come up with some alternative suggestions. At the same time, I didn't really want to plumb my water overflow into that, because it was a waste of water. So it was just, I'm using all this water costs money, got a big garden, why not retain the water and use it to feed the garden at some point? So I bought a big IBC, and then just a case of rooting all that up. So that was the plan. I was kind of happy with that. Oh, there goes my balls again. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, for that. Is that because you got to put a poop emoji on it? And the reason I'm giving you that backstory is basically, there's no nice way about this. It exploded. I can smell it now just by saying the words. So my son for a couple of days is going, Dad, my toilet's, it's not flushing properly, or it's filling up with water and it's only going down slowly rather than flushing away fast. So, well, clearly he's done a monster poo and blocked the toilet or something along those lines. Okay, just keep flushing it, it's fine, I'll have a look at it. And it was filling up and it was going away. And then it was going slower and slower and slower. So I thought, right, something's obviously not right. Let's go down and have a look and see if we can see what's going on. Went down to the garage. As I walked into the garage, I could see the soil pipe as it came out of his bathroom, or the downstairs loo, and went into the first bend. There was a union there, and there was a little bit of water just spraying out there. I thought, that's very strange. That's right at the top of the run. Why would there be water there? That doesn't make any sense. And oh look, it's going into one of the fish tanks. That's not good. So I went and got like a big tote tub box thing, cleared all the shelf off, because I had stuff up there as well which had to be incinerated. And just as I got up there's an inspection cap right next to this valve, and I was putting the box, trying to position it to catch this little jet of poopy water, and just as I was getting up to it, I don't know whether I knocked the inspection cap or it's just really bad timing, but as I got up there, Punami! It just exploded everywhere. It was like, in my face. I was trying to hold it back with my hands. I'm getting the box up to try and stop. It was like a jet wash of poopy jet wash. My son's just to the side of me laughing now because he thinks it's hilarious. This is one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever had. It's just coming out of this thing like there's 1,000 gallons of water pressure behind this or something. So filled up 2 massive buckets, soaked in brown poopy water. Majority of it went over me. Some of it went into the totes. So I filled up 2 big massive plastic totes full of this stuff. And I'm standing there almost crying because there's nothing. What am I going to do? Nobody can hear me. I can't shout for help. Even if someone was there, what are they going to do? Turn off the poo tap? I just had to wait for it to drain, so I just had to stand there moving box after box to fill up with this just as it's I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe it. It's just I've never smelled anything like it. So that was that it felt like it lasted for about an hour. I'm sure it was less than 30 seconds. But I managed to get the inspection cap back on, but by the time I got the inspection cap back on, it was only because it had already drained by that point. So we got it on, I got it back on, dripping with pooey PE water, get the boxes out, clean up as best as I can, and I look at the fish tanks, and they're full of poo, basically. The end discus tank took the brunt of it, so I then spent the rest of that evening moving fish around, getting other tanks on the other side of the room set up, cleaning out tanks, sterilising tanks, moving more fish, moving them back, filling them up again. It was just this catastrophe after catastrophe. I've been trying to make a video about this for the last part of the week, and every time I pressed record, I go, and what happened was it went right, start again, try that one again. So it did not go well. So that was my big news, and this actually happened Thursday last week. It was either Wednesday or Thursday last week, so I don't know why I didn't mention it in last week's live stream. I think, like the trauma of it is just, it overcame me last week, or I was trying not to think about it, or whatever happened. So that was for the best part of the week. I've been cleaning up the fish room. The discus did not take it well, let's put it that way. So the discus, all the other fish fine as far as I can tell. The discus that took the brunt of the attack, not fine at all. They clearly had a bacterial issue. They basically started disintegrating. So when, well, I don't know if you do know, but you might see pictures of people who get new discus, and they get discus from different sources. They have a thing called Discus Plague or cross-contamination. It looked like that. Their skin started to peel off, their eyes clouded over, the tails, fins, everything all looked really ragged. This was maybe after 2 or 3 days. They just looked like every single fish in that tank looked like it was on its last legs. I've managed, just by doing water change after water change after water change, because I'm like, what medicine do you use for this? Where's the anti-poo medicine? So I've just been hammering the water changes on them, and thankfully they're all pretty much back in shape now. No cloudy eyes, no clamped fins anymore. All the fins that were ragged have started to neaten up again. It's amazing how fast these things come back. Because if you'd seen them, I didn't video any of this because I was in such a bad mood. I mean, this was literally a week after I killed all my Congo Tetras, so I was in such a bad, foul mood with myself. I couldn't bring myself to film it. Well, I filmed a little bit of it, but even as I was trying to talk over that, my microphone was gubbed, so that didn't work. So I just got into the biggest bad mood that I could possibly have got into. But thankfully, we're through the other side of that now. There's no more poopy problems down there. But the funny thing was, all I did was get it patched back up again. Oh, my balls again. Who's that? Oh, it's Paul Burke. Thank you, Paul. I think I might have given you this story earlier on today. So patch it back up, and my solution was, right, we're not using that toilet anymore. I couldn't bring myself to go do any further investigations, and even if I could, I was like, oh, what the hell am I looking for? And we had the plumber coming anyway, so like, oh, Steve, would you mind having a look at this? The toilet seems to be blocked. And I told him the story, and I think he took pity on me and decided that he'd help me out. So he's very much a heating engineer. And he's like, well, don't you know a proper plumber? Because I don't want to delve about in your shit. But anyway, we found the problem in the end. It turns out at the other end of the run, so toilet here. Let me start here. So toilet here, through garage, through void in house, and where our bedroom ensuite, the shower pipe had basically broken and dropped into the soil pipe. So a part of the shower pipe had dropped into it, and that's what was causing the blockage. So he found that, and then we had an explosion at the other end of the house, which went all over the void and all over the two plumbers. So I heard them going, Graham, you got any bleach? Can you bring us some bleach? So there was an overwhelming stench of poop throughout the house, followed by an overwhelming stench of bleach throughout the house. And I think that's put my kids off ever becoming plumbers for the rest of their lives. So it's all fixed now. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. We're all good. But that is my tale, and that is why I'm sad to tell it, because I was so angry, because I couldn't even go back to the house. I had to strip off outside the house, and then I was just like shouting up the stairs going, Alistair, what have you done? Look at me. Poor lad, it wasn't even anything to do with him. I was convinced he stuck something down there, which had blocked the toilet, but no. It was just a rogue shower pipe. Now we're never going to talk about that again. But I've always quite fancied being a plumber, and that's just put me right off it. I want to be a clean plumber. So I'm going to quickly catch up on the comments here, because I'm sure some of them will be poo related, and I don't want to think about this anymore. And then I'll tell you about the rest of my week, or what else we've got. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by things. I've got a 3D printer, or my son got a 3D printer for his birthday, which was last week, and I've been printing off lots of 3D things. So that's one of my questions. Aquarium related products that can be 3D printed. What would you go for? I'll tell you what I'm doing, or my thoughts so far. So James, I'm looking forward to your solution to the water change conundrum. Oh, are you going to show me your...
No, I just watching.
Alright, we've got a live audience here at home. My solution to my water change problem is going to be almost identical to what it is now, but rather than having to connect up a few pipes every time I want to do a water change, I want that automated. So I'm going to have a drip system with my HMA dripping into all the tanks, and all the tanks will overflow into that water butt. But instead of relying on me connecting that water butt up to get rid of the water, I'm going to have that plumbed into an IBC tank at the other end of the house. So that's got like 1,000 litre capacity. That can fill up with all my wastewater, and then I can use that to water the garden. That's the idea. I just need to find someone that's skinny enough to fit under there. Someone like this little young chap over there. He might be able to go under there and run a hose for me. Come on then, show us your 3D printed stuff while we're here. So, this is number 2, son, who you might remember from previous... Oh, thank you. You might remember from previous streams, and he's taken to printing all kinds of weaponry. So this was his first attempt at a samurai sword that we've printed on the 3D printer. Pretty good, isn't it? That's actually 3 pieces. You can maybe see the join in that bit there, just up here.
A lot of reference.
A lot of weapons. It's basically weapon based. This is, what is this from again?
Loki push dagger from Avengers.
It's from Avengers. This is a Loki push dagger.
It's still drying.
Still slightly tacky and wet, but basically, take some of that. Oh, it's it's wet there.
You said it was wet.
I didn't realise it was that wet. Why would you hand me a wet paint? So, but it's bloody lethal. I'm going to have to change your permissions on what you can and can't print. So, and is it here? Oh yeah, Mjolnir Thor's hammer. Not to scale. Look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, so he's been printing them. I've been thinking of how can I use this for aquarium stuff. So, not necessarily aquarium stuff. I snapped the connector off my mic for my main camera, so I've printed a new connector for that. Scintillating viewing, this, isn't it? I've printed myself a little desk tidy, which holds my other stuff. My SD cards are all in little slots. My micro SD cards all have little slots. What else have we got? I bought these, but I'm going to reprint them better because I think I can do a better design. These are overflow, tank overflows. I think I've shown you these before, so I got these off eBay, but I think I can print better ones than that. And then my proudest moment, where has it gone? You heard me talk about the Congo Tetra flooding incident and how I'd bought this valve. So this is like a solenoid valve, so it's normally off, and then when you give it power it opens. I thought that's going to be a great fail-safe, that if I ever leave the water running again, I'll just have this set up on a constant timer, so every hour it switches itself off. Oh, sorry, struggling here. I've not been very well this week. This will be my fail-safe, so this will go in the line somewhere that every time I want to do a water change, I'll switch the power on. It'll be run for an hour, something like that, so the maximum it'll ever run is an hour. Definitely going to get that hooked up, and that's one of the videos that I've started shooting. But, and this was a bit of my rant last week, I think I remember talking about this, was every comment, or not, that's not true at all, a lot of the comments on the video when I asked, well, give me your ideas, how can we make sure I don't do this again, because it's my brain, it's my failing brain that stopped this happening, I need something. Literally dozens of comments saying, why don't you just get a float valve and pop it on the tank? So this is a float valve. How do I pop that on the tank? There's no way to pop that anywhere. They all rely on this nut being unscrewed and a tank being drilled, so as you can then attach this through the tank. So it doesn't sit anywhere. So I found a 3D printed solution, which is this. So this pops on your tank. So this sits on the glass down here. You then attach this here, and then this. The way this works is your water line goes in here, and then when the float raises, it stops the water line. They're a bit pants. I've got several versions of this, but they all work pretty much the same way. So I've just 3D printed the bit that sits so you can clip it onto your tank. This I got from Thingiverse, and it's designed for buckets, and I don't like it, basically. It's too low down. So if you think about it, this is the top of the glass here, this being connected here, it's going to stop the water off about 4 or 5 inches before the end of the top of the glass. So I don't like that. So I've redesigned this. I've turned myself into a 3D designer. So today, when I was definitely working, but in my lunch hour, for any of my colleagues that happen to be here, I've redesigned it somewhat to use less plastic, because this is a meaty boy. Took about 5 hours to print that, I think, and it's just unnecessarily big. Let me see if I can find the thing that I'm going to make. So I'm going to change it a little bit. but I've used the same. Well, in fact, can I show you this? Let's see. Let me just get rid of that comment for a second. I've changed it a little bit to look like that. So the same sort of idea. But the bit that connects, so this is where the water line will go, the connector will go. So I've changed the angle of this so as it sits a bit closer to the top. And then the other thing I didn't like about it was it kinked the water line the way it went there. So I've put a little notch into the top here so the water line will run straight. And then of course I've stuck the Aquarium Adventures logo on the side of it. Why wouldn't you? I've yet to get that thing to print successfully. But I think this is the third or fourth thing I've been allowed to print on the 3D printer, because most of the times we take it up printing swords or other weaponry. I'm sure this is going to be the death of me. But I'm absolutely loving 3D printing stuff. I think it's fantastic. There's just so many little things that I'm like, oh, that's that broken, then I'll have to buy another one. And I go, haha, no. I can print a replacement part for that now. So I think this is going to be a big thing. The channel is going to change away from aquariums to man prints things to fix problems he has with aquariums. Because I've got, you know, the blue clips you get for water lines that I can never... I don't know why I said it like that. The blue clips you get for water lines that I can never find. So the push fittings, you push them in, you pull them out, you put in a little blue clip, and that kind of locks it in place. I'm forever losing them. And then I even bought a bag of like 30 of them at one point, just so as I could refill them, all the ones that I'd lost. They're forever going missing. Print my own, and they only take like 5 minutes, so that'd be really good. It's lots of stupid things like that. A hose fitting that doesn't quite fit, well, I'll print another one, and that'll make it, or I'll print a bearing for it, or I'll print a spacer, or print just think of like 100 things. So what can you think of? I guess that's what my question is. What could you print? Because I've seen on Discord, join Discord if you want to, somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody had bought an overflow box, a 3D printed overflow box. I'm like, yep, perfect, I could do that. I could print filters, I could print new sponge filters, I could print new hang-on back filters, designed to my specific requirements, so I can make things, bespoke things that are just exactly what I need, fit into exact spaces. So I'm really looking forward to tinkering around with all that. Right, I've been waffling now for the best part of, I thought that was about an hour, best part of 30 minutes, okay. Evening, Rob, lurking tonight. Yes, Sharpie, Punami. I'll get... Rob says, I can smell it from your description. Yes, there was... Oh, yeah, it was not... Oh, sorry, Practical Reefer, I've just heated up beef chilli too. I do apologise to those of you who aren't in the UK and might just be sitting down to dinner. Rebecca says, Discus are Drabaqueens. I thought I lost my pair when they went dripping, so I threw them in, but once the tank, they were fine. Yeah, that I've often said, and those of you who have been here for a while will have heard me say this many times, that they're not as high maintenance as people think. They're a lot tougher than people give them credit, but they are, yeah, drama queens, that's probably a good way to put it. I've tried to freeze my discus before and they've been like, nope, we're going to die now, and then they come back absolutely fine afterwards. These guys are troopers. I mean, just thinking about it, the amount of crap that went in that tank. Oh yeah, the fact that they're pulling through now, they're troopers, let's put it that way. Simon, the first time I've ever heard of someone getting human poop in their tank. Yeah, it's, if nothing else, it's an experiment, I suppose. But yeah, turns out fish don't enjoy it. Imagine. They thought the accident was for water changing, not human waste. I'd bleach the house. Yes, so many bottles of bleach were spread when the second punami happened, when the plumbers came down. But yeah, not fun. There you go, needle sandwich. The overflow box, a Sump return diffuser, like a spray bar. Is that what you mean? So these are 3D printed ideas, I'm imagining. British plumbing is garbage, separate hot and cold, etc. Why would you choose separate hot and cold as being an idea for it being garbage? I think that's a great idea. I've never understood why you don't have that in other countries. Tam and Bell, don't worry, there will be a video on this. There just won't be any footage of the actual punami. 3D printed Plego caves for species that need unusually shaped caves. Yeah, that's a good idea. How long do you have the water dripping into tanks? Is it constant or on a timer? When I do my auto water changes, I've done both in the past. In the end, I just settled with constant because it was easier. When I was using a timer, it would come on for like, I think I had it set for like 20 minutes a day, or no. I've done a few different versions, so there's probably a really old video of me where I had it come on for like 5 minutes 5 times a day at different points of the day. That's because I was just running cold water into the tanks. And then I had one where I just had it on for 20 minutes a day. But I can't remember if the timer failed, but something put me off using the timer. Because it was a mechanical like hose timer that you just set. And then I got an electronic one, and I didn't like that either, but I just can't remember why I didn't like that one. But I often like to live by the keep it simple, stupid principle of, well, let's just put drippers on. If I drip it in, I worked out that I was changing roughly the same amount of volume, and there was no temperature fluctuations. I think that was it. There was no temperature fluctuations when I was dripping in, because I was dripping in so slowly that it never fluctuated, so the temperature remained constant. I thought that was better, so I just left it like that. You should install CCTV. Well, I actually have CCTV in the fish room, or I have all the equipment to put CCTV in the fish room. I just haven't hooked it up yet, so I should definitely have done that, shouldn't I? I don't know if I would have made it onto You've Been Framed. I don't think they show that kind of stuff anymore, do they? I'd have my own. Oh God, yeah. At least this one didn't kill anything. That's the main takeaway from this, is I just got extremely traumatized, but nothing died. My last accident killed a bunch of fish. So that's the silver line I'm taking away from this, even though I can, even now just pressing the button to open the garage door, I'm a bit like, I kind of stand back and look from afar at the pipe at the top of the, no, it looks okay. Oh, Novo Perlicki's picking a fight with plumbers. Define proper. Something that's what we invented plumbing. Probably. So this is a thing. I think it's usually Americans that can't get their heads around this, that we have separate hot and cold taps. Obviously, I'm British. I've lived here all my life. It's just second nature to me. Why wouldn't you have one cold tap, one hot tap? I remember when I went to America and stayed with a few different families for like 6 weeks or something like that. I was playing golf on a golf scholarship in America. It was like an exchange, not a scholarship, an exchange program thing. And this was the first time. I mean, I'd seen mixer taps in hotels and things like that, and that was all fine. But this is the first time I've kind of had to live with it and properly use it. And I kept inadvertently brushing my teeth with hot water. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Why would you have this? Or really poor diagrams as to what way you turned it to make it hot and cold. I'm like, well, just have two taps, obviously. But yeah, in my house I have mixer taps, kitchen taps, one tap, hot and cold feeding into it. It's not that we're against this, it's just that we also, as a standard, have separate hot and cold because it makes more sense. I think. Yeah, so as Practical Reefer says, we do have mixer taps. Yeah, we do have them. So I'm not sure why that's a problem. I enjoy the challenge of moving between hot and cold taps when one burns me and the other freezes. Mixer taps in my flat. Yeah, mixer taps are a thing. They're just not hot. Separate hot and cold aren't not a thing. I bet your son is glad you bought yourself a 3D printer for his birthday. He is. Well, it's kind of a joint present because they're not cheap. That's the only thing. So we kind of set a budget for his birthday present, and so I chipped in for half of it. So it's his present, but I'm allowed to use it every now and again. So we've been working on a deal. I've not been very well this week, so he's mostly just been going for it. But we've worked on a deal that everybody gets. We each get a long print, and then we get a short print. So if he does a long print, I'm allowed to do a quick one afterwards, or if I do a long print, he gets a quick one afterwards. Yeah, if you come up with any good 3D printing ideas, post them on Discord. That's a good idea. Let's have a channel on Discord about 3D printing things, or requests even, if you want. If you want me to try and print you something, because I've seen a lot of stuff on eBay. That's where I'll be getting most of my ideas. It's quite expensive, but obviously people are trying to make a margin, so I'll do you a cost price version like this. I think I could print that for pennies. Maybe the power consumption might be a bit of a thing, but now that I've started to learn about 3D printing, I know this has been printed on the low quality setting, and it's just not very well finished, so I think I could do better. Good idea, poorly executed. Yeah, that's Noodle Sandwich. That's you with the overflow box. If the 3D printing doesn't go to plan, I found a sit on site and tank of bulk. Whoa, speaking words. I found a sit on side of tank Balcock for £6 of free delivery. Finest filters. That's where I've ordered a lot of stuff from. Why didn't I think from looking there? Why is that not working? Let's have a look at this. Small face. Yes, so that's a much more elegant version of what I'm going to print. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was looking for, and I couldn't find. See, if someone had just said, buy this, I wouldn't have spent 300 quid on a 3D printer. That is good, but now I'm going to print my own anyway. What size sump tank would you choose for a 7 by 2.5 by 2 discus tank? As big as you could fit in whatever location, that would be my answer. I have a 5-foot big display tank with a freshwater sump, and it has a 4-foot sump underneath. It's just making use of as much space you can. There's no... What's the word I'm looking for? There's no rule to say, well, if you have this size tank, you have to have this size sump. The general things you want to think about are what happens if the power's cut. Is your sump going to be able to hold the volume of water that will drain into it? So if you don't know these things, this is why you have things like weirs in your main tank, so the whole tank doesn't drop into your sump. So you have a sump head height, so that's why when sumps are running, they're not filled to the brim, because when the power goes off, some water inevitably will drain from the display tank into the sump. So as long as you've got that bit cracked, you have enough space in your sump to put some filter media in it, that's equivalent to, for instance, say, the average canister filter. So if you can fit that in your sump, you're good to go. And every extra inch of size you get there is an opportunity to add more equipment, media, make it better and more efficient. And that's kind of where you go with sump design. Or that's kind of how I look at sump design. That doesn't necessarily mean that's right, but that's what I look for. A sump will have an overflow to drain, even better. So if your sump can't handle that, they can't handle the overflow from the main tank, and it will just flow into the drain. Perfect. All you need to worry about is, have you enough room for the media that you want to put in there? Because the benefit of sumps are, it increases your water volume, it gives you places to hide the equipment, and gives you a chance to have as much media as you can cram in. So more media, hide your equipment, increase your water volume. There are other things like it helps you distribute meds or fertilizers and things like that. You don't have to add it to the display tank. You can add it to the sump and it distributes it around the tank better. But bigger is better. Thanks, Dad. It must be the adverts or something. Going back to watch the golf. Yes, I will hopefully be. I do like to watch the Bastards when it's on. I've not actually watched any of it yet. It's not the same without Hazel and Peter Ellis. Got my first hatching of CPD fry. What would you recommend feeding? CPD fry. So I managed to breed a few Celestial Pearl Danios, and I never once saw them eat anything I gave them until they were quite a lot bigger, which makes me think they were obviously eating something, but they weren't eating anything that I was giving them. That means they were eating things like infusoria. So if you want to breed food, so what I mean by that is they were in a mature tank, so the mature tank would have had things like infusoria and other microscopic goodies in and amongst all the... I like to keep plants quite densely planted tanks. If I'm breeding fish, I'll always throw in loads of Java moss, because in amongst the Java moss that gives some fry some places to hide, but it's also like a breeding ground for all kinds of little goodies that fry can feed on as well. So there are videos out there from people like Mark's Fish Tanks on how to, not artificially, but how to make your own infusoria colonies and other microscopic fish like that. But it's basically whiz up some old vegetables in some water, put it in the sun, and then you see it starting to get cloudy. Then that's stuff that you can then get a little siphon, a little squeegee, and feed your tanks with it. But if you have a mature tank to start with, you're kind of hitting the ground running. 3D printed tank light tank mounts. Yes, so again, you know these Nycrew lights with the cheap Nycrew lights with the accordion. That's not what I'm trying to do. They have like the pull out legs, so I generally turn them upside down and attach them to the shelf above where I use the racking systems. Lost them. Deary me. Auto top off with bottle. Yeah, I've seen a few of them where you can. So there's a place called Thingiverse. Is that what it's called? Have I imagining that? Yeah, so it's like digital design ideas for 3D printing, and if you search for aquarium stuff, I've been getting a lot of ideas from that as well. Oh dear, itchy nose. So, is my stupid face in the way? Things like these, the original random filter flow things, shrimp and fry tubes, and also like pleco caves. There's a lot of pleco caves on here. Loads of ornaments. There's also loads of these as well. Printing your own filter media. I can't believe that's economically viable or a good use of, I was going to say, time, money, energy, anything. It's probably really good filter material because of the amount of surface area you could print. But yeah, that seems like it's... Oh yeah, I'm just going to print some filter media for my hang-on back filter. It'll be ready in 13 weeks. That's the only thing about these 3D printers, is they're not fast. Yeah, so tool holders, there's things like that. Brine shrimp hatcheries, I think I'm going to have a crack at modifying that design. So there's a few brine shrimp... oh, and these as well. Test kit holders. I think they're quite good. It's a better one than that I've seen actually, which I quite like the look of. It's this one. It seems to take all... it's got space for your KH and your GH as well, but it's got the test tube holder in front of the card. Genius. So you can see it straight away. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things on here that look like good ideas. There's a bunch of things on here that look ridiculous, and you're like, why would you do that? I don't get it. So yeah, there's like a simple bottle brine shrimp hatchery. So you can just print that, and your airline goes in here and your bottle screws in there. Looks a bit like that. So yeah, I'm going to give a few of these a go and we'll test them out. So if you've no interest in this, you might want to skip my next few videos. I'll put them all on a playlist so you know to avoid them if you're not into that kind of stuff. But yeah, spray bars, things like... stupid things like check valves and airline splitters, and just the ideas are limitless, literally limitless. So if you can print it, it can be done. Yeah, so loads of good ideas. But yeah, keep them coming. We'll make a section in Discord, or someone that knows how to do it. We'll make a section in Discord, and we'll try printing some of them up. New Discus seem to be... voice has gone... oh. New Discus seem to be spawning. They keep switching between filter inlet and heater as site of choice. Yeah, I've often found that as soon as you put a breeding cone in for Discus, they're like, no, I'm not interested. So off-putting. Take it away, like, oh yeah, that heater, perfect site to lay our eggs. Idiots. Fish are daft sometimes. So, my old Discus breeder friend, specialist, he used to swear by the full moon would get your fish breeding, or any drops in temperature, or drop changes in the weather and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Spears gate valve extension, pipe at the back of the cabinet, extend the wheel at the front of the cabinet for easy adjustment. That's a good idea. Could you print me my voice is doing strange things. Could you print me a tank clip for my dosing pipe? Mine fell down the back of the tank and has been dosing the floor for the past week. Yeah, that's a good idea. I too have had that problem where I've found that the answer to that is rigid airline tube in the last section, and then it stays stuck in the place. But yeah, tank clips, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, message me with your idea and we'll get that done. Anyway, right, where are we up to? It is now 21:55 and we haven't even done a giveaway or talked about all the new fish that I have bought from Fish Bar Aquatics. See how long we'll get this done. Keep this up. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Look at this for service. New channels up in Discord now. Well done. Thank you, Simon. I'm trying to drink through my cold. That's the sensible thing to do, isn't it? Right, let's have a wee giveaway, shall we? Shall we get the Kaylee wheel up? And I'll send out the prizes in 3 to 6 business weeks. And then I'll tell you all about my new fish. So So this is going to be open to all UK based people. Unless you're willing to pay the postage, then you can play as well. We'll spin the Cayley wheel of fortune, and see what you can win. So let's go. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm dragging this out. There we go. I can't remember if this is the old wheel or the new wheel. It's a goodie bag. So that could be a key ring, a pen. It couldn't be a pen because I don't have any pens. It could be a key ring, a 3D printed logo. It could be all manner of things. Some food, a hat, any other merch, random stuff. It might be a pot noodle. That quite often happens. You'll get a little goodie bag in the post. I'll send you some stuff. If you are the winner and you want some specific stuff, like, I've always wanted to try that food you sell, the, I don't know, sticky spirulina tablets, send me an email and we'll include that in the goodie bag. So to win, I don't know why I pressed that button. To win, we'll go on giveaways, we'll enable everyone. We'll do a keyword, and it's got to be Poonami as the keyword. Poonami. Poonami. Type Poonami into the comments. Poonami. And then we'll pick a winner. And we'll send you some stuff. Remember, you have to click like, subscribe to the channel, go watch a video, stand on one leg, hop for 5 minutes, live in the UK, or be willing to pay the price. Pay the price, that sounds like a threat. Pay the delivery charge, and you might win. Yeah. So let me just see. I saw a couple of questions. I was trying to figure that out. And there you go. Bobby Brady. Hi, I wanted to ask if you ever tried hooking anything else up to your Felix Smart. I tried emailing them if they had a list of compatible devices and they never answered. I've tried a couple of things, most unsuccessfully. So that was with the V1. I've not tried anything with V2, so maybe I should revisit that. But there is a Facebook group where the developers hang out in the Facebook group, and to be fair to them, they're usually very good at getting back to me when I've asked them questions. I've noticed other people posting questions in there, and they usually get answered reasonably quickly. I know that they were working on a whole raft of things. I think they've made, I don't know if they've made the decision, but I think they are kind of angling this more towards the marine community. So there's a lot of more marine tools and marine sensors and things. But so, to mine, I've had the Senai kit, seems to be compatible, so I've got the Senai. I've got the Felix version of the Senai stuff. That all works. Obviously, they've got the camera. Apparently, the other cameras are meant to work, so you can get 2 cameras going now. There was meant to be a load of probes that got signed off and approved. Pardon me. Oops. I think I've seen a list. I could be making that up. But yeah, I would check out the Facebook group. In fact, what's it called? My Facebook has been broken for the last, today, because that's the only time I've tried to use it. It keeps telling me I'm all caught up and then showing me that, there you go, see, I'm all caught up. But it's been this post as the last post that I've looked at. What are they called? Felix. It came up there. Why did I press that button? Felix Smart Lab Aquarium Owners. So if you search for that group, ask your questions there, and I'm sure we'll find you a list. In fact, is it on the question? Sorry, Would PVC fittings bond to the plastic that 3D printers use? Oh my balls. I don't know. That's a good question. So far, the only thing I've tried to bond... Thank you very much, Kaylee, for your 99p. Oh my balls, super chat. The only thing I've tried to bond so far has been... Well, I suppose I have bonded to plastic, but I couldn't tell you if it was a PVC fitting or not. But super glue works well. I don't know. I will test it. I have these overflows which I was intending to bond, but I think I was intending to push fit these actually, but I'll try bonding one of them to something, see if it works. I don't see why it wouldn't. Pardon me. Oh dear. Will you be doing a summer line of merch? Aquarium Adventures, shorts, caps and sunglasses. Hey, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought about it, but I suppose I should be thinking about it now. Phil, you there, Phil? Okay, now we're into the Poonamis. Poonami. Different 3D printers use different makeups of the plastic materials, so I guess, yes, so I don't know how true that is, but certainly my printer, it can print different types of filament, so you do get very different 3D prints. And there's also resin printers, 3D resin printers, so they're like for the really fine detail stuff, so that, again, that's a different material, and they do different types of resins, which some harden, like proper dry hard, that's not the word I was trying to use, they properly harden when they dry, or they can be cured, that was the word I was going for, or they can be like rubbery ones as well, so all different things, so I guess that is true. Have you had delivery of your mega tank glass? No. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right, I think we've got 28 eligible users for the Poonami. I wonder if there's anyone that's joined halfway through. It's like an hour in, going, what's going on here? Right, I think we're ready to roll it. Are we ready? Drum roll, please. Oh, wait a minute, I pressed the wrong button. Oh no, I didn't, sorry. Drum roll, please, again. Atahemni, the name I can't say. Congratulations, Atahamni. You have won a goodie bag. So, as always, send me an email. Oh, didn't mean to do that. As always, send me an email and address, all that good stuff, and I'll send you a goodie bag if there's anything in particular you want to try. So if you want to try the, like I say, the sticky spirulina tabs, I'm not pushing the sticky spirulina tabs, it's just the only thing I can think of at the moment, or the soft artemia, or whatever it is, I'll see if I can include that in the giveaway. So congratulations to didn't mean to press that button either. So right, that's the last talk of poo we're going to have tonight. Let's say that. So the only other things I wanted to talk about was the new fish I've got from, and he's here, him's the man himself, or someone pretending to be him. The new fish I got from Fish by Aquatics. That's another one that I've made kind of 80% of the video. I just didn't quite get around to finishing it. So, spoiler alert from the next video, we've got Congo Tetras again. So I couldn't not have Congo Tetras. They were the subscriber tank. If you don't know what the subscriber tank is, it's where you guys helped me pick the inhabitants, the type of tank, the type of scape, the whole... You've helped me pick everything. It's going to be a proper... words. Come on, you can do this. Interactive. No, that's not the word. Kind of is. An interactive tank where it's our tank rather than my tank. So we're going for a Congo biotope, based on Congo Tetras. I killed all my Congo Tetras, so I had to go and get more, which is fine for me because I thought they were fantastic, the Congo Tetras. So I went and I got not all the Congo Tetras Fishman Aquatics had this time, just most of them, all the best ones. But I also picked up a bunch of other fish. So I can't remember if I've told you these things either. We've got Pea Puffers back in the fish room again. Got a group of them a couple of weeks back from my local, well, not really local. I picked them up from Wentworth Garden Centre, has like a pet and aquatic centre. And they had a tank of Pea Puffers, so I had a tank of Pea Puffers. I got a pair of black rams from Fishman Aquatics. I got some more Congo fish. Should I reveal this? I'm trying to elicit some kind of intrigue and suspense here. Oh, okay, I got I can never remember how you say it. Delheze. Alestes Tetra, I think that's how that's pronounced, which is a really interesting one. They're pretty cool and a really good size as well. I got them a couple of weeks back. Then this week, or it was Monday because I was off on Monday, I got the Congo Tetras. I picked up, that's a test of my memory now, some precocked rainbow fish. I picked up a couple of blue neon gobies, tiny little fish. They've been a challenge to film. I think that might be it. Well, this will be a surprise for all of us then. So watch the video that will be released in the next day or two. They are some cool fish in the fish room again. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the what happened with the Congo Tetras, says Jacob. So I made a video on it. Go and watch the video if you wouldn't mind. But basically, I killed them all. It wasn't my finest moment, let's put it that way. 3D pot noodle spork. Yeah, maybe that could be like a random merch drop of pot noodle sporks. Oh, JB. Have you seen blue-eyed Congo Tetras? I have not seen blue-eyed Congo Tetras. The Congo Tetras that I've picked up this time, I don't know, maybe it's just me misremembering, but these last two batches of Tetras, they just seemed like on a different level to the Congo Tetras I've had in the past. I remember buying Congo Tetras when I first got into Discus, seeing pictures of them, you know, ooh, look at me, I'm so cool, look at all my colours, and I got them and I was just so underwhelmed. Maybe I just didn't get enough of them, because I think I bought 6 both times that I've kept them, and they've just been like, ugh, these are so boring. Which was I must admit, in the back of my mind when we did the competition to pick what, I was a bit like, ugh, not Congos again. But I totally fell in love again with Congo Tetras, or for the first time, fell in love with them because I think they're just fantastic. Just the colours and the behaviour. The behaviour is the thing that sold it to me. It probably is just the numbers that I've got. They're like mini piranhas. The way they go for food, the way they stick together, they're always active, always moving. I remember them being very solitary, very boring, not moving much. So who knows? So I'm very, very hopeful for the future with keeping these ones. But I've not seen diamond Congos or blue-eyed Congos. I don't think I have anyway. They did have some, what were those Tetras called that you showed me the other day, Callum? They were diamond Tetras of some description. they were intriguing. I've got a video of them because I kind of regret not buying them now because I thought they were cool. They had a little bit of the piranha in them. I think the same way that the piranha scales shimmer, shine, whatever the word is I'm looking for. I've been debating some puffers. Do it. Puffers for the win. I really wanted to get some Shoutendai. I was watching something earlier on tonight trying to... Somebody pronounced Shoutendai properly. I've already forgotten it. Anyway. Pardon me. But I just can't find them anywhere. And they're like £1 million. So, you know. The next thing we need to think about for the African tank, though, is planting. So I do have a couple of plans. I'm either going to get a kind of 4-foot or a 6-foot tank, or build one, and that will go on a shelf in the fish room, and then that's going to be the African tank for a while. I debated for a while whether to use. I've got that cube tank, but I think while it would probably be big enough for the fish that I want to put in it, maybe not all the Congos actually, cube to me just doesn't sit right because cube isn't a river. A river's long. You want a longer tank than a cube tank. But I don't know. I've got the cube tank already, so I might just make your mind up. So that's the next decision. Mega tank. There's the next point of view. The glass was meant to turn up yesterday. Now, I wasn't very well this week, so I might have missed stuff, but I cannot find any missed calls, no emails. They have not answered my email. I'm starting to wonder if someone hasn't made off with 550 quid with nothing happening. It was just an estimated delivery that it was going to be yesterday, so we'll see. The stuff that hasn't turned up, and I'm starting to have second thoughts about Megatank again. Oh no. Oh, my balls. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, I'm starting to have second thoughts about Megatank. Let's read some comments and then I'll come back onto that one. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to last. I'm starting to feel ropey again. Yes, the Elestes, they're kind of... You need to watch them for a while before you get them, if that makes any sense. It's very easy to kind of just go, oh yeah, another Tetra-ish type fish, and then you kind of go, oh, but yeah, but no, but yeah, there's stuff going on there. Ha! Diamond Congos are the LSDs. There you go. I've got some. Yay, I have seen them. Excellent. The Congos you've got are next level. I think they are just different. I think they're vibrant. That's a very good word to use to describe what they look like. Very good. Blue-eye Congos are a drain your bank account fish, but they do look good. Well, everything's a drain my bank account. Callum is asleep. The diamond tetra is the one I like to call a subtly beautiful fish, not in your face colourful, but yeah, they have a brilliant shimmer. I guess that's the... Shoutendai. No, Shoutendai. I wish I'd written that down. Shoaling, yeah, so from what I understand, you either keep one or you keep 6 or more. Main head should be able to get them in if they import from Africa, but the price might be high since COVID. Exactly, I know the price is going to be high because the prices were already high the last time I saw them. I've got a thing for puffers. I know I've only got Pea Puffers at the moment. So I thought that would be perfect to have the spotted Congo puffers. I almost made the mistake of, I'd said to someone else that I was thinking of getting, I keep saying this, I keep saying Congo puffer rather than spotted Congo puffer, which are two very different fish. Congo puffers are the potato puffers, I think they're called, and they're like, we're going to kill everything else in this tank, so they have to live on their own, whereas the spotted Congo puffers can live in a community environment. So I almost bought one of the wrong type before realising my mistake. Callum deserves a sleep. Yes, he works hard. Sat watching the tank. The Discus are huddled near one side, just debating if the large Siamese algae eater charging round isn't helping. Any thoughts? It probably isn't helping. If it really is a Siamese algae eater, because they can often be mistaken. That's not even English. They can often be mistaken for other similar fish, like Chinese alligators, which are slightly different, but very different in temperament. But Siamese algae eaters, they can be big, they can be boisterous, they could be having a bit of a fit, and that could be making the Discus. So let's just stay out of the way for a wee while. If it's just every now and again, I wouldn't think that'd be too bad. But if it keeps going on, it might be worth a little bit more thought and maybe some separation and a bit of a timeout. Yeah, so as Rebecca's saying there, they might be bothering him. They can be quite boisterous. Great minds, or as it fools seldom differ. So Fishman Aquatics, I've not been keeping up with it. I've been pretty much out of it this week. But I was there on Monday, and Callum was busy setting up some little tanks and getting ready. So I will have a video of my visit there. My bloody microphone packed in though. So I had Elizabeth stood doing a little bit of an ad for you, because she was reading out the social media stuff saying, and you get 5% off if you do that, and another 5%, and that's only 15%. It says 20% there. Oh. But they didn't get any of it, so unfortunately, which is good. So a bit of a montage. We've got some bits, but they loved the. I was going to say they loved the kiddie area and the colouring books. They loved the free Capri Suns. That was the main attraction as far as they were concerned. And the rabbits, which took a liking to Elizabeth and took a chomp out of her. But she still likes them. The Callum very nearly gave away one of your rabbits. That's not true, Sharpie. Discus get upset when a gnat farts in a different room. They do not. This is a much perpetuated myth that Discus are big pansies. They are not. Discus are cichlids. They like to give as good as they get. So we've got some videos. Pardon me. We've got some videos coming out. We've got my trip to Fishman Aquatics. We've got solving my water change issues. Now with 3D printed accessories, and all the fish room updates of all the new fish that I've got in there. Mega tank. So other than the glass not being here, I think I said last week or the week before that's it. I've decided I'm keeping Oscars, I'm keeping peacock bass, and I'm keeping big fish, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing the other. I can't make mind up. I keep coming back to, should I just have a giant Discus tank? And then I'm doing it right now. I'm sitting here thinking, should I have a giant Discus tank? But I really want Oscars. But I really want a giant Discus tank. And if I don't put Oscars in it, where am I going to put Oscars? And then I'll never keep Oscars. I'll always end up saying, I wish I'd got Oscars. But you're good at keeping Discus. And that would be an awesome Discus tank. Think how many Discus you could have in an 8-foot Discus tank aquarium. Think of all the other fish you could get in there. You could probably get some space in there for all kinds of things. Not just Discus. But then, where am I going to put the Oscars? And this is without even thinking about YouTube. So, I don't think either of these ideas are particularly YouTubey. I think if I wanted to do the YouTube thing, I'd buy an arowana, I'd buy a couple of big stingrays, some ridiculous American cichlids, South American cichlids, and have a monster predator tank. I'm just not into it. Stingrays I can get behind. Arowanas I can get behind. But if I was going to have stingrays, I'd probably have stingrays with Discus. Arowanas I'm just not into. I'm not into the ones that aren't £1 million that the imported show winners from Asia. So they're a bit like meh. And I think if I go down the big predator tank route, I'd be doing it for views and for clicks, and I want fish that I want fish that, should I smash my camera up and decide to never make another video again, I want fish that's still going to keep me interested rather than keeping everybody else interested. So I do want Oscars. I do want someday the bass. I keep wanting to say bass and have to stop myself. I do want bass, because seeing that one at Fishman Aquatics, that was the coolest fish I've seen in a long time. I don't know. I just don't know. Whereas I've always loved my Discus. I do want Discus, but I suppose I can get a lot of Discus in a slightly smaller tank, and then I can put my Discus in my display tank once I get the floor fixed. Oh, see, God, it's hard. So that's what I might do. Here's a thought. So what I might do, I might build it as a Discus tank first, until such time as I get my show tank back upstairs fixed and rebuilt, move the Discus up there, and then at that point get the Oscars, get the big fish that I like, and try them out. I don't know, is that I don't know what to do. So if you've got any ideas, I kind of want someone to come along and say, stop being silly, get this, here, buy this. Who knows. Oh yeah, we should probably do a plug. Thank you, Jennifer. Get some fishy merch at my website. Buy stuff, yay. Fund this hobby, whatever it is that I need to buy. Slowly, not even slowly, very fast running out of money. Everything costs so much money. I haven't even bought any plants yet, or substrate. I'm going to have to buy like 3 million tons of play sand just to get a light dusting on the floor of this bloody thing. Silly saucerfish. You're looking for a ban. You need Oscars. I do need Oscars. I've never kept Oscars, and they're such a common fish that I think are so cool that I've never kept. I've just never had a tank big enough. I don't want an Oscar, I want Oscars, plural. So maybe I put the Discus in, I buy a bunch of Oscars at the size that you normally buy them at, and grow them up and move them into that tank as and when they get big enough. Because by that point I should have fixed the discus tank. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's another comment. So Rhys showed me a picture of a wild that he's got in at the moment. Has my name all over it. Yeah, the thing, even if I was to buy that today, I've got nowhere to put it today. All my tanks are either not big enough or full of other things. I need to get this bloody class sorted and delivered whenever it's going to turn up and get the tank up and running. Fill it full of giant African fan shrimp and call it a day. They're a bit scary, them. I don't know if I like them. True parrot cichlids are neglected in the hobby. Beautiful fishies. Yeah, the ones I think of as parrot cichlids are the hybridy ones, which I don't like them at all. You need something very showy for the mega tank. Well, I'm trying very hard to steer away from that. I don't want something showy. I want something that I want. And the trouble is I want too many things that aren't compatible. Maybe I just have to build another one. Alright, I'm going to have to start working on the wife to get the other half of the garage moved over to a fish room and build another one. Yeah, but I don't want something showy, because if I want something showy, I'd just go out and spunk a load of money on some big, scary, angry cichlids that don't really do it for me. It's just I'm torn between the big things that I do want, and I think I'm suffering from premature buyer's remorse because I've never kept them before. I think the thing in the back of my head is I'm worrying that I won't like them once I try them, and then I'm stuck with them. So I'm kind of torn between wanting to try something new and wanting to do something that I know I like and enjoy, but on a massive scale. So I'm a bit like, oh, which road do I go down? So that's what's going on in my head at the moment. Keep Oscars. You can have that wild gill for free. I do want to keep Oscars. Spin a wheel of things you like and whatever it lands on. Oh, that's a dangerous game. Save your discus for the house. You need a display tank as a feature with the discus. Yeah. I think that's right. I think I've almost forgotten about that tank. It's more of an ornament now in my hallway that it's going to have water in it at some point, and it's a big tank, and I can take a big discus display. I've always been quite sparse with that tank. Oh, that makes me laugh. Thank you, Bobby. I can't see what the comment says, but we'll get to it in a second. I keep forgetting that tank exists. I've always had it quite lightly stocked. Now I can stock it really quite densely and still have space and filtration to keep up with it and all that good stuff. Yeah, okay, we're back on Oscars. Native North Sea. Do you know what? I've seriously been considering cold water fish, given the whole energy price hike that's going on at the moment. You sound like you want Oscars, so go with it. I do want Oscars. I mean, there's no getting away with it. I do want them. I just don't know if I want them in that big tank. I do. Of course I do. I think I are. Oscars are interesting in a pair, but the pairing I don't think differs from other cichlids. They grow insanely rapidly. Some sold at maybe 5 centimetres, returned at 20 to 30 in 9 months. Yeah. So this is a tank that's going to have, its footprint is going to be 8 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot tall. So I should be able to get a good number of fish in that tank. I mean, I can't. I was watching another stream earlier where someone described described a tank that was roughly the size of the tank I'm building as not big enough. I'm like, what? There's still fish that tank's not big enough for. I think they said, oh, that such and such tank's only 8 foot by 3 foot, and that's just not big enough to keep a Pea Puffer in. And I was like, bloody hell. I thought Pea was on the list of things I could keep in that tank. It's not what I want to keep in that tank, because I have at least settled on the Oscars or the Discus, and I think I'm back on Oscars now. I think I am. And at least with Oscars, I can get Oscars and other big interesting fish that will live with Oscars and can put up with Oscars. I don't know. I'll keep the girl until you're ready. It needs a good home. It went from Pier to Big Fish Lad to me, then to another customer for a while, and she's back again. Right, I'm kind of 99% sure now. All the other tanks are full of poo. Yes, thanks. Oh, Bobby, Brady, thanks for being here. Good luck with your selection. Yes, it's tough. I think I'm probably being overly harsh myself. If I was... I'm always picking on him. I was going to say, if I was the king of DIY, I'd get them, I'd get bored with them, and I'd pump them off on someone. That's just not how I want to keep fish. I mean, I'm never saying I'll never rehome a fish, but I think that's what's making it so hard for me to decide, is I don't want to do that. I want to be... Every fish that comes into my fish room, I want to keep until it dies. Preferably of natural causes rather than poo-related instances. But I just want to keep things for a long time. With normal Oscars, I mean, it was normal Oscars that got me hooked. I mean, I even remember the first ever fish tank I got when I was a lot younger. I remember seeing an Oscar for the first time, and I probably saw one that was still a juvenile Oscar and thinking, that's pretty cool. And ever since, I've always wanted one, and I've always had, because I didn't really get into fish keeping until I was a lot older. So I always had a fish tank, and it was your typical little fish tank that you had some guppies in, or you had a dwarf blue gourami in, or you had a whatever. And it wasn't until I kept my first discus that what I would call properly got into fish and started geeking out about it. But at every stage I was like, oh, I want to get Oscars. Oh, they can't live in that tank, it's not big enough. Oh, I've got a big tank now for my discus, I'll get an Oscar. Yeah, Oscars can't go with discus. That's a shame. Oh, built a fish room with lots of small tanks. Oscars can't live in small tanks. Oh, what an idiot. Oh, I've got a big tank now, I'll fill it full of discus, so I can't get Oscars again. Oscars. But it's the I was going to say the plain. It's not the plain ones. I do really like the more common colours. In fact, Fishman Aquatics, they had an Oscar recently that was, I think any normal person would call it ugly, fugly. It's all beaten up, warts, everything, but it was there. It was like, I'm a fish. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, but also one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I think they're fantastic. I just don't know enough about them, I guess. Long-finned Oscars, I'm not so keen on, I must admit. I have seen them, but no. Stingrays. I'm not on the fence with stingrays. I think they're alright, but I kind of want... Stingrays seem very expensive for what they are, if that makes sense. They're intriguing, so I wouldn't say I definitely don't fanboy about them as much as I do things like Discus or Oscars or the peacock bass or the things that I've been like, wow, look at that. Stingrays have always been a bit like, ooh, look at that, that's cool. My kids absolutely love stingrays. They're obsessed with them more than I am, so I'd probably be doing it for them more than anything else. Big fancy plecos, definitely. I'm interested in big fancy plecos. South American pikes, Oscars, yep, all good stuff. Don't be disgusting, Rebecca. I think that was at the long-finned Oscars. Festivums. Yeah, I mean, I do like them. What about wild discus, like a discus specialist tank close to what they have in the wild? Definitely, I think I will do that one day. But then again, I don't need an 8 foot by 4 foot tank to do that. I can do that in a normal sized big tank. Get the blooming Oscars. Okay. Thanks, boss. Done. I agree with reptile owners. Sometimes it's more than size of the tank, but what you do with the tank, like decor, yeah, I think that's true. A very I almost said hygienic, and that's not the word. A very sterile tank with no enrichment features, no hidey holes, no things to investigate, hide behind, block sight lines. Yeah, I think that's almost as important as the actual size. Oscars, I personally would make sure anything is a boisterous feeder or you back it up with filtration for overfeeding. Well, I will have scope to do lots of filtration. Michelle just throwing her hat in the ring there. Go for discus. I mean, this is the thing. No matter what, I'm going to have discus. I'm always going to be a discus guy. And I think the thing that's swaying me is I don't need an 8 foot discus tank. But that doesn't mean I don't want an 8 foot discus tank. The glass will probably break and I'll be ruined anyway, knowing my luck. World's most overbuilt rabbit hutch, definitely. It could be that. A very large tank with discus show where they can act with where they can act with more choice of where to go would look epic, or be interesting to keep a show of heckles on another species. And that's what's selling me on the discus side. I've never seen. Well, that's not true. I have seen an 8 foot discus tank before. I don't think I've seen an 8 foot by 4 foot discus tank before. So it would be interesting to see how they acted, which is maybe why I might start it with discus and then move them up into the big tank once that's ready. I used to be indecisive, now I just don't know. Paul Middlemist, I have just moved to Barnsley. Wow, very sorry to hear that, Paul. I sound like a proper Sheffield person now, don't I? Apparently Sheffield people and Barnsley people don't get on. Is there any fish clubs in my area and Sheffield area? I would love to meet other enthusiasts. Sorry for my really bad spelling. That's alright, I managed to read it all. So our local club, I guess, would be the Sheaf Valley Aquarium Society, SVAS. You can find them on Facebook. They have a website, all kinds of things. If you can't find them, drop me a note and I shall point you in the direction of someone that will be happy to talk to you. If I kept discus, I'd go with wilds. I want to watch them as close to naturally as possible. Yeah. Wilds are something that I've kept wild types, so the domestic wilds, if that's... No, they're not even domestic wilds, they're domestic wild types, so the brown base fish. And I really like them. So I would also be into doing a wild tank with more of a biotope or biotype setup. I'd really like to do that thing. So a load of people I know have been to the Amazon and gone fish collecting. So I think Aquarium Co-op and people like that have done videos of them going to Peru and going to various places, fish collect, that type of thing. So I know Francis from Chen's Discus has done it. A few other people have done it several other times, and it just looks great. So some of the footage they've got, and you see them in their natural environments. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think that'd be a trip I'd like to take, maybe for my 50th birthday. Who knows? Shellies. An 8-foot Shelly tank, that might be a little bit much. Right, folks, I'm starting to flag. My head's hurting because I can't think. I don't know what to do with my big tank. Oh. I think we're going to stick with Oscars. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having an internal dialogue with myself, and it's just the same thing going round and round and round in circles, going, but if you get Oscars, then what are you going to do? Shut up, Graham. So, last couple of minutes. Any questions, get them in quickly. I think I've talked about everything I'm meant to talk about. I'm sure I had a question that I wanted to ask people, but I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, so I'll do the whole shameless shilling. I have a website. If you like fish food and you don't live in Manchester, you can buy it from me direct on aquariumadventures.co.uk. Sell all manner of fantastic fish foods. If you do live in Manchester, or more specifically willing to travel to Oldham, you can buy it in person at Fishman Aquatics, along with lots of very interesting fish. And if you hang around until probably tomorrow, if not the day after, you'll get to see a video of my visit to Fishman Aquatics earlier in the week. And then in short order, some other videos about other interesting things I have forgotten about for the moment. But yeah, with that, watch a video, like a video, share a video, click a video, sing the theme tune, ride the theme tune. And we've got a wild Mickey in the house. Good evening, Mickey. I was just about to give up, all because you hadn't said anything all night. No, I'm flagging. Whether it was man flu or whatever, I'm going to go and finish my beer, watch a bit of golf, and go to bed. I think that about covers it. So thank you everyone ever so much for joining me. Sorry, it was a bit of a damp squid. Damp squib. It is squib, isn't it? It's not squid. Thank you everyone who donated to the super chats. That's always much appreciated. New video tomorrow or Sunday, and then probably a couple more in very short order after that, because I've got a few from Yuki to Barnsley, you poor soul. Yes, Paul, either send me an email or join the Discord server. I will get you the details of the club. SVAS, Sheaf Valley Aquarist Society. That's your new local club. They just missed an auction. I also missed it. It was on Sunday gone past. I remembered it on Monday, like an idiot. So they used to hold quite regular meets and auctions, and then COVID happened, so I don't know how they're getting back into it. But yes, thank you everyone for joining me. Watch my videos, and I guess we'll see you in the next one. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the windy. Cheery bye! I'll see if I can remember to turn the stream off this week, unlike last week.